Okay, we're live for the last session of the first ever Global Masterclass for Apparel Decoration on Demand. Thank you so much to everyone who's still with us. I'd love to hear who's been here from the beginning. Thank you to all the speakers as well that have joined throughout the day and are still here with us as well. Really appreciate you taking the time to educate the world on heat printing and apparel decoration on demand. So we've got one last happy hour. Just to get those final questions in, get everything answered. Don't leave today with questions unanswered. So get them in the chat and we'll fire them all up. We'll just go quickly round the grid again, just to say a quick hello and you introduce yourselves. If you want to start off, Dave.
Absolutely. Started off this morning's Q&A, and I get to start this one. I don't know how I always end up in this position, but guys, I'm so thrilled that you joined us here today. My name's Dave. I'm the content director, and I am so fortunate to be able to be a part of this education that we bring to you. It's so powerful, and our entire mission here at Stahls is to elevate you as a decorator and help you achieve your goals, whatever that may look like, whether you're a side hustler or just doing this as a hobby or looking to take it full time and make that step, or if you're a small, mid-sized business looking to get to that next level, we're here to support you regardless of what your goals and dreams are. And I'm very fortunate to be here, and I love everything about today, and I'm so thankful you guys were hanging out.
Ditto.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Great stuff, Dave. You always kill it in the open. Yeah, it's been really great. Excited to be chatting with you all both during the sessions and also in the chats. So keep them coming. Loving the questions. Loving getting to know you guys more.
Cool, guys, and Ben here all the way down from Australia, and I've loved being a part of it and been invited to join the cast here and all the presenters. It's been a sensational day. Heat transfer has been a big part of my life for 17 odd years, and I love it and being a part of this. And I hope everybody has got something to take away to their business throughout the day, something they implement and can grow from there. But excited for those final questions and the last sort of happy hour of the day. Wrap it all up.
Okay, Josh, you're next.
All right, I'll go next. I just want to say that I came prepared for the happy hour. And I'm not sure if you guys did, but for those of you that did, cheers to you on the other side of the screen. And those of you I can't see. Red Bull. Yeah, powering through the Red Bull over there, no doubt. So I got a little whiskey and ginger ale. Does the job for right now.
Drink to your good health.
So cheers to you all. But thank you for joining. I think you know who we are by now, but I just want to say today's been awesome. I love in-person education, but we get to talk to a lot more people that we never would have been able to converse with through this method and get to hear questions from all parts of the world. So it's been eye-opening and really cool to hear perspective from all over the place. So thank you for showing up and being engaged in the conversation.
Thank you very much. Martin, Stahls UK. I've been in the industry 33 years and I learned so many things today myself. So I thank you all. Very interesting questions coming in. Brilliant answers as well. I think we've all learned something from customers today internationally as well. I'm blown away by the amount of interest there still is in transfers worldwide. It just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, heat printing. So glad we're a part of it. It's a joy to see you guys once again. And it's fantastic to have so many people registered today and logged in. I think the first session blew me away. I think it was hundreds and hundreds of people worldwide. Real honor, real honor.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Molly and I'm obviously Stahls UK, as we're all sat in the same room. That's pretty obvious. And I focus a lot on the video education that we provide to all of you guys. So having to be a part of today was really, really amazing. And I think the value that it's given to everybody, especially from having people from all over the world presenting, has made a massive, massive difference to our audience in the UK, let alone everyone else. So just grateful to be a part of it. And I hope that you've all taken a lot away from today.
Hi, I'm Andy from Stahls UK as well. I look after the marketing and education here. And I've been here for about 6 years now, and I've really, really enjoyed today in particular. So much great content from all of the speakers. And I also just want to take a quick moment just to say thank you to all of the other Stahls staff that work behind the scenes today to help put this all together. Really appreciate that.
That was really delayed. It went around the circle.
Kelly Walters, guys. And 2 years ago, Jenna Sackett talked about really like humanizing our brand. And I think that over the last year, we've done a lot with bringing our community together as a whole. And I think it speaks volumes that we've been able to bring UK, US, and Australia together. So it's not just about building a community, you know, with where you are, it's about as a whole, right? So getting perspectives from different countries and then just being able to hear from a variety of people that have a lot of passion for this industry. I think this is key. You can clearly tell that we love what we do and we're really here to just help you. We want to see you succeed, not just get products in your hands. So I think it's been a great day.
Okay, let's get stuck into some questions then. So first question from Brooke. What type of storage system do high capacity businesses use for storing logos? We have approximately 600 different SKUs of logos and are looking for a more lean and efficient way to store them. Ben, I can see your hand up. Do you want to take this one?
Well, no, I know Brooke and I know these guys as well, but I want to hear from you guys because in the States, obviously with plastisol transfers and buying them and storing them, that sort of thing, you guys actually, we've sort of had discussions in-house, that sort of thing, but I'd actually love to hear from you guys. And Josh, you know, you guys might have some ideas on how you could store transfers where you've got lots of units of different types of designs, that sort of thing. That's what they're after. What's the best way to do it?
Yeah, typically, I've seen it several different ways. I lean towards stackable bins and open bins, which kind of goes against keeping humidity away. So if you have a controlled environment where you know the transfers are going to last, that's relatively low humidity, you can leave those transfers open in the bins. What I'll see is a lot of companies actually utilizing poly bags with the Desi packs to protect the integrity of the transfer and seal those, and then storing those in stackable bins, right? And you can buy stackable bins to where you can view through and see in them, where you can put a label or a sticker on the outside. And they're very flexible and can fit in lots of different spaces with different sizes to accommodate different sizes of transfers. And then we've been toying with the idea, and this is new, but I'll share it anyways. You know, in a mail room, you have the mailbox slot where you can put the transfer in one side and pull it out of the other side. So we've been trying to find a way to think through how we can pre-stage the transfers, because the transfers sometimes are getting there before the garment does. That's how quick delivery is, especially if you're running stuff in-house. And so we've been playing around with that sort of open binning system so we can actually stage from the transfer side and then pick at a bin location to stage when the garment is received and comes in. And I'll just say you'll see a lot from Stahls in the next year around simplifying shop management and some of these challenges to help your business grow. So it's a little teaser. So that's what I've seen, and that's what I recommend. I don't know if anybody else has other ideas they'd like to share.
I second the bins. The bins are definitely a great way to go. Even for staging with apparel items too, when the orders come in, to be able to move them through a shop, keep them clean. I've seen so many decorators who are doing heat printing on demand with smaller bin sizes or larger bins for bulk orders. But it's just a great way. Josh mentioned clear and see-through, so you could say like, oh, those are the red shirts, and there are red shirts in there, or just to look and see, oh yes, those are the navy blue transfers I need, without having to open them. Saves time, and any business time is money.
Excellent, good question. Thanks for asking it.
Okay, next question. I know you offer sample packets of each type of application, but how can I get a customized option of each application, including the different trends that we've seen in our masterclass today, that uses my company name in the sample instead, even if there's a cost for it?
Where is Tanisha located, I wonder? Does anybody know that? Anybody know that? Or can you chime back in with that, Tanisha?
Texas.
Oh, so U.S. market. Okay, cool. So I guess let's talk about sampling and custom logos for the U.S. market. Kelly or Jenny, you want to take that one?
You want it?
Go for it, girl.
Look, it's like a hot potato, I felt like.
Well, yeah. So, okay. When it comes to samples, we offer a variety of different sample packs. So if you're looking for customized, the best thing that I can recommend is getting connected with your area or territory manager, building that relationship with somebody that has the ability to really customize what you need. And I don't mean customize and using your logo to to make a transfer. I mean, customize to understand your business, understand the quantity, the type of logo that you're working with. That's going to be the best way to really maximize what you need. If you're looking for an array of what Stahls has to offer, that's almost impossible just because of the amount of products that we have. So the best thing you can do is just really build that relationship and get connected. And if you don't know who that person is, then I guarantee you there's 4 people right here that can at least get you directed in that, person.
Patrick Corbel for Texas. So that he's your guy. And then I'll add to that the direct to film transfers we've been pretty much advocating for all day have no minimum order quantity. So you can upload your logo, your client's logo, order as little as 1 to get that sample in at a very low cost. That's one of the benefits. And all of the dimensional emblems and patches, you'll have to pay a $30 setup fee in the US market for the logo and about a $15 to $20 sample fee. But for $50, you get that. And you said not worried about the money. You get that logo that you've uploaded in leather and flex style. And I showed this a little earlier, but I don't know if you were in the session. Like, here's how that comes in. Like, you literally get this card, you get your flex style sample in the client logo, get the leather patches. Get the leather patches. You get it all ready to go, just like that, right? And so that's a great way to do a collection of different custom logos. Or if you have a vinyl cutter, you can buy different vinyls and cut it and weed it yourself. Yeah, the only issue with, I'd say screen printed transfers are probably the most challenging to get your custom logo, but the minimum's only 6. So if you're willing to spend the money, you could certainly do it.
And with that, you can gang a sheet, right? So you could do a left chest, you could do headwear, you can do pockets, bags. Like, you have that surface area to work with. So yeah, it's 6 sheets that you have to fill, but don't look at it as just one logo. It's not 6 logos. It could be 12, 24, depending on how you maximize that area.
I got a new game. I think every time somebody says gang sheet, Dave
Stop
Connor
it.
should drink. Dave Connor should drink every time somebody says gang sheet because he gets so excited.
It is.
Two.
I mean,
That's 2.
Thank you.
But I to add on to that and to use the gang sheet, that even if you're doing a job, say it's just white ink for a 48-piece order, I guarantee you're going to be able to find room on that sheet to gang sheet to to be able to put your logo as a left chest, or even as, like, if it's just like a horizontal, be able to find that. And you could do that with all of the Ultra Color products that are the hybrid transfers as well. But of course, Max you could order on its own. So there is a way, if you have a job for a customer, just be able to throw that on the gang sheet.
Okay. And in the UK, we have the same products, so Ultra Color Max, Ultra Color, screen printed heat transfers. So UK customers have got the same question. We've got you covered as well.
I was going to say, you didn't say it.
Molly, where is yours?
Sorry, I know it's over there. I sat down before we started and didn't get up again.
We can give you a break.
All right, it's only water. I think I'll survive.
The next question, please. Any suggestions for decorating youth hats on the IQ 360 hat press?
No. So not a recommendation I can give. Some people have done some things to the machine that I would not recommend that will be an issue for your warranty. But I think that the end result is we need a youth 360 IQ in time. I just don't know if there's enough volume there. But youth caps are currently the limitation on this press. If it won't fit over this lower platen, and a lot of youth caps won't, it creates an issue. I have some people that have removed this cap and used like the smaller version, but then you lose the rubber pad, right? And so kind of lose some of the feature and functionality, but you can try that. Just be very careful because it gets super hot when you're loading that cap on that bare metal without this pad in the way.
Okay, who's next? Is there a lower heat platen for the Hotronix Fusion? From Heidi.
Good,
okay,
Jenna.
Good question, Heidi.
Great question. Technically, no. Technically. So we recommend our power platens for the Hotronix Autoclam. because there isn't a draw, right? That's our limitation with the Fusion. If you're going to be using the draw feature, it's going to pull on that cord that's connected to the controller. But if you're not using the draw function, technically you can use it, but we don't recommend it.
In the US market, we're unable to recommend it for safety and ULCE certification reasons. So technically it will fit, but we are not able to recommend that you use it with the Fusion. If you are going to use it with the Fusion, that's at your own risk. And like, remember that? Do you remember the club? Did they sell the club in your countries that you used to put on the steering wheel of the car to protect it from being stolen? Did they do that in the UK? You remember those old commercials? I said, we need a club for the draw on the Fusion so people attach the club and then they can use the power platen.
Just zip tie it.
Yeah,
Okay,
zip tie. There you go.
Yeah.
Just before we move on as well, I want to point out that we've done a few things with the power platens over the last few months with like our athleisure series and stuff. And we always recommend that if people are using power platens, we tend to lean more towards the dual and the single air, just from a pressure point of view, so that you're not over pressuring the power platen and like damaging it.
And if you're in our last session, make sure you add extra electricity because the power platen is going to pull electricity as well.
When starting out, do you suggest stocking up on blanks, and how do you suggest equal out which colors and size? So when you're starting out, do you suggest stocking up on blanks, and how do you decide on which colors and sizes to get started with?
Good question. So I think there's going to be lots of opinions on this. Who wants to lead us off? Ben, you've been quiet. You want to lead us off?
Look, there's so much good chat. I don't know. It depends on your business model, but with suppliers these days, there's so much variety out there, right? I would stock up on garments for sampling to be able to show and demonstrate if somebody was to walk in the door, or you were to see somebody, or to do testing and see the type of styles that you like. But I wouldn't necessarily, if I'm starting out, to go, I need to hold stock. Okay. The idea of suppliers these days is to be able to place an order online quickly, for it to be dispatched and sent to you as quickly as possible, for you to be able to place a order online with a transfer supplier, and they both come together into your shop with, roughly the same time. Sometimes transfers even arrive earlier, right? So it's print on demand. And maybe back in the day you had to hold stock to be a viable business, but certainly not anymore. And nobody wants to be left with stock that you've bought that you can't move, the wrong sizes or the wrong colors, right? So would I hold stock? My recommendation to any of our clients is you buy the stock that you're selling for an order. If you want to hold stock, hold it for a demonstration purpose, hold it for testing purposes, hold it for to see what you like in terms of styles and things, but not to hold stock to sell unless your business model was very specific. This is the style and sizes, and you had some history behind you in terms of what you're already moving.
Anything anybody wants to add to that?
I would just add that in the UK specifically, if you order by 4 o'clock, it tends to ship same day anyway. So you really don't need it.
And there's no minimums.
There's no minimums. And as well, if you go onto someone like Ralawise, you can go and see what their stock levels are anyway. So you can start to realize what they always have in stock. So you can get it straight away. And conversely, you can realize what they don't tend to have in stock. So don't offer that product to your clients if you're not going to be able to offer it again in a month's time.
Yeah, it's a good point. In England, we find that a lot of customers try and buy loads and loads of samples. It's never a good plan. You've never got the right color, the right finish, the right shape for the people that you're pitching to anyway. So some really nice items, a few samples, showing off your badges. You can put multiple prints on one garment. You don't have to have separate pieces. And just hang on to your cash. You don't really need to go crazy because everything is on demand. Like you said, even the shirts, the prints, everything. We have some customers over in England that they'll fill a whole showroom with like big high-vis jackets and things. They spent £3,000 or £4,000. They haven't got an order yet. So keep your money in your pocket. Go and see knock on a few doors. Be focused with it. You can always order samples as and when you need them. And just hang on to your cash, really. You don't really need to outlay too much. Not in this day and age, anyway. And if you need to create samples and you've got a little bit of an inkling with it, you get some flat layers off of Canva, you superimpose just to give people kind of a design solution of what they could have, and market that way. Don't tie up loads and loads of garments.
So I agree. I'm going to present an alternate point of view just because I literally had this scenario yesterday. So a lot of it depends on your location, right? And your client's SLA or demand. And so here in very rural southwestern Pennsylvania, unfortunately, we had a client that was very specific that they wanted Sanmar blanks, a popular distributor wholesaler in the US. And Sanmar is a 2-day transit from our facility, right? And the SLA for the program needed to be that the order would ship in 2 days, right? And so we had the direct to film coming in quicker, but we had to have the blanks in 1 day or the program wasn't going to work. And so we had two options. One is to take a basic inventory of the top moving blanks and then run replenishments, or two was to pay for expedited freight. And when we ran the math on it, it made sense to stock, some core basics for quick turn to be able to service the program. But again, inventory management, making sure that there's some client commitment to move through those blanks, and we just stay really lean. Like we may inventory 6, right, of a style. I'm not talking about 50s or even dozens, and then just replenish as soon as that gets down to 1 or 2. So just something to consider. Depends on your location, but certainly I would hold no to inventory. I agree if you're within a transit time that is acceptable for your turn time for your client and your relationship.
The way I look at it is like, that's cash, right? So if you've got 5, 6 different styles and you've got 4 in each different size, next thing you know, your small, your medium, and your large sell out and you're stuck with extra large. But then you go in and you're replenishing these other sizes. Next thing you know, you're going to grow from having 20 in stock to 50. And that's going to be money that is just sitting on the shelf. So obviously it really depends on your business, because if you're going to be e-commerce, somebody's placing an order on Instagram or TikTok and it needs to ship, then you have to set that expectation that when your 3 larges are gone, they're gone. And that color quantity is not going to be restocked until you decide to restock that entire size. Otherwise, there should be an expedited fee onto it, or a, hey, we're going to reorder this for you. If we can get 4 more pieces, then we'll fulfill your order. If it's e-commerce and print on demand, then you have to be extremely careful with the amount of product that you have, ready to pull from, because it happens very, very quickly that you have an excess amount of product that you are no longer using with the designs that you are coming out with, every season. And it sounds like a beautiful plan when you can make $15 on a sweatshirt, but then your $15 is now sitting in that blank garment that is right behind you, right? So it's you have to understand your business and really what your setup is.
Yeah. Measure your inventory turns, right? That's the most important thing. So whether it's 10 or a million, measure the inventory turns and make sure those products are moving through at a good rate. If you can't measure that and don't have that sophistication, then maybe you don't want to hold stock.
Okay,
I knew that one would get a lot of answers, Andy. I do want to say, for our folks backstage, I know I saw the note, there's a lot of good questions in the Q&A section. I'm not sure if we're able to pull those up on screen or how that works. So if we can't pull that on screen, just message me in the back and I'll just read those questions aloud because I can navigate to them. But let's take the next question we have planned here.
Okay, what are best practices for reducing the extra blanks on hand because of slightly over-ordering on sizes, colors, in case of mistakes and issues with the blanks? Question from Amy.
So I could kind of jump in, and this isn't necessarily, you might want to leave that question up because I'm going to go off script, is every print shop that I've ever worked in, whether it be, a retail or a business to business, there's always been a spoilage rate. So it's usually typically most shops that I worked in were 10%, where it would be over or under. So when it's just when you ruin one garment, you would refund the customer for that and say, this is part of just our terms of service, that there is a spoilage rate. Now, I always advocate for ordering extra, especially if you're using a new decoration technique that you haven't used or decorating on a garment that you haven't before, and do it with the sizes that you're going to start with. So if it's a medium or small, start with that size first so that you have those extras in that size. And then you typically shouldn't have any issues through the rest of the run.
I would just say in the UK, if we over order stuff, and if you can turn the jobs quick, so you're still within a certain amount of days, you can just send them back. I mean, if you're not going to use them ever, send them back, get a credit on your account, and order something else that you will print on instead.
Brilliant. I love that. So simple, but so so practical. Great tip.
Okay, at the moment, I have students bring in their own shirt to press their design on, but I would like to start getting apparel in bulk. What are suggestions for getting textile samples free or at very low cost? Maybe there is a forum that outlines quality and cost, etc. From Tyler.
Yeah, and I believe this was specific to Canada.
I think you got to connect with a wholesale supplier in your country and see. A lot of them have sampling programs. A lot of them will have traveling reps where they may come out with a garment rack and their display of selection, depending on the size of your business and the opportunity, and present to you. Otherwise, I think looking up one of the big, I believe they're imprint shows in Canada, the national show in Canada, and making your way out to a convention where those blank apparel wholesalers are displaying is a great way to explore the choices in fabrics.
Yeah, and Rochelle Manning earlier in our blanket or our sustainability panel, she mentioned Sanmar in Canada being a good resource. So that would be a good starting point.
And get in touch with the partners in the expo area. Their details will still be in the expo area on the top tab. So just go in there, send them an email, get in touch, and start a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, we are looking to design for Family Dollar and Walmart. What do you suggest we use for our transfers?
I think you know the answer. I would imagine Family Dollar and Walmart would be bulk fulfillment. So definitely, depending on your artwork, because I don't want to assume that it's a 1 or 3 color. But if you're in the higher quantities for both of those and you want to match that screen printed look and feel, screen printed transfers in the US market, the goof proof transfers from Transfer Express are my favorite. And yeah, if you're going to be producing those, you want to be producing those efficiently. So that 4 to 6 second application with a hot peel is really going to make a huge impact for your business.
And you can gang sheet them.
Yeah.
Was that the ploy? We're just trying to say gang sheet? Put Family Dollar and Walmart all on one. But that's a tremendous opportunity, whether for the companies themselves or whether to retail through them. Good for you. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations.
I feel bad. Heidi commented that she's batting 0 because I think she has 2 questions and we were no and no on this question. So Heidi, hit us with another question. Maybe we can get a positive outcome here.
Okay. When and where is the next large trade show for decorated apparel? Kelly, you look like you want to take this one.
No, I'm just really excited for Printing United in Atlanta in a couple of weeks because we're all going to be there. So it's going to be one of those moments where it really is the community of Stahls that comes together. Like I was talking about at the very beginning. So it's not only just a US perspective, you're going to get all of the perspectives possible. So even if you're in the US attending it, I still think it's fantastic to get perspectives from wherever, because you never know what you're going to learn that's going to be implemented or could be implemented for your business. But what is that? The 16th, I think I fly on the 16th. So what is that? The 18th, 19th, and 20th of October. So Printing United, Atlanta, go do it now. Go sign up.
Agreed. Book your flight. It's going to be a big one. I'm hearing great things about the apparel segment at that show. And it really becoming like the premier place to connect nationally and globally for apparel in the U.S. market. You can see the best of print technology from different industries, from the packaging industry to the large format industry. Figure out how that applies to apparel, but then certainly a dedicated space on the floor that's going to cover the apparel segment and convergence. Stahls will have a huge booth. I don't know how many classes we have, but I'm going to say we have at least a dozen in-person education opportunities. Across the board, hands-on stuff, future state stuff, press conferences, podcasts, I mean, we're loaded up. We're going to have the best of the best there to engage with you. So it's totally worth a flight in a couple days to Atlanta. printingunited.org, I believe, is the website, but we can confirm that in the chat.
Yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait for that.
Yeah.
We can't wait. Or is everybody literally coming? Martin, the whole team there is coming?
Yeah.
It's all of us.
Fantastic. Awesome.
We've got colleagues from Europe and Germany coming as well. So yeah, we're pumped for it. It'll be fantastic.
Okay, Josh, what type of press do you suggest for starting out with?
So this comes down to budget a lot, but I would say don't start out with less than the press that's sitting beside me here, the Hotronix Autoclam. That's a press that can decorate for large businesses, and many huge factories own it, but it's also the right press to start with as well. And the reason why a heat press investment is fairly inexpensive in the US, $2,500 or less for a full setup. With a heat press like this, you can check out the packages, but that's not a lot of money. I think I showed you earlier in the sale price cost that we're going to be delivering, at least $200 or $100 an hour back to our business in profit after paying ourselves. So you run this machine and sell it out for half of a week, 15 hours of a 40-hour work week, you've paid the machine off. And you're going to be happy that customers are going to come back because the prints that you're creating are going to last. So if budget's a factor, I'd go with no less than this at $2,500. If budget is not a factor, I would definitely go directly to the air model press, and you will absolutely never look back, whether that's a single air fusion or the dual air fusion. And the reason I say that isn't just for the automation. It's for, again, what you can print with it. That fusion footprint allows you to load a sleeve and leg platen that you can't load on this machine. I have to use a pillow, right? Because the footprint's wider. So it gives me maximum use of the platens and ability to use power platens as well, right? The manual fusion doesn't let you use power platens. We cover that. The air fusion does. The dual air fusion does. So if you can afford $5,000 price point, go straight to the air and you'll never regret it.
Okay. Nick, have we got any more questions?
We're not stopping if we don't have any more questions.
Oh,
here we go.
What's that?
Next
What
week,
is the
kids.
next?
Let's go.
She posted her own question. Victoria, come on.
I love it.
Dave, I think you're up next, aren't you? Haven't you got one tomorrow?
We
Is there-
do.
you really want to
from-
get stuck straight into it?
Yep, from Transfer Express, we have our, I want to say quarterly, but I think it happens like more than quarterly, but we have our Toast to Transfers event tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. I will be behind the scenes, but we have a very talented presenter, Stephanie, who will be on camera in the studio that I was presenting from today. A little too late to buy the kit. I believe they even sold out, so we don't have them in stock anymore. But that's kind of like a fun press along. We call it like the make and sip or like the wine and design, but it's just a real casual, fun night of decorating. We're going to decorate some real spooky stuff for Halloween. But we have another one coming up even, I want to say in November. That'll be all kind of holiday themed. And you could get the kit. You could pre-purchase it so it arrives and you could press along, very similar to the class that Josh did today with the troubleshooting and going through the decorations. But they're usually themed for the time of year that we do it. We've been doing that for almost 2 years, and it is a riot every time. It's like this happy hour, but we decorate too, safely, of course, around heat. We don't want anybody getting burned.
Great.
Okay. How about you, Kelly? Are you podcasting this week, or they let you have the week off?
Oh, come on, Andy.
No rest.
No, I fly home late tomorrow night, so I will be doing the podcast on Friday. Dave took it. Dave had to cover it last Friday because I was in Chicago. So, yep, it'll be me Friday, so in 2 days. And then the only day it will change is Printing United, and that's because we have so much education going on that whenever we are at a show, we always try to to loop that in. Like, we want people that are not at those shows to still feel like they're part of the shows, but still, you know, give them the type of education and friendly touches that we're used to. So you'll see me go live on Instagram right before, and then we'll pop on live on, you know, all of the other platforms, since it seems like it's like octopus arms on where we're at.
How about you,
I'm
Ben?
sure
Have you
we'll
got any
go.
virtual events lined up for the folks in Australia?
We don't virtual events. I don't think we have any virtual after this booked in, but we do have a in-person masterclass running the first week of November. So I think it's the 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th. So that the info for that goes out next week, I think, is the EDM, and we're dropping that. So very similar to this, but it's effectively a 2-day course, with the first day being very theory based on all your fabric, your heat presses, how-tos, troubleshooting, all the accessories, so everything that we've sort of gone through. And then day 2 for us is very hands-on. So people are literally in front of a press all day pressing through, and the first part of the day is using they get a goodie bag. Effectively, it's got literally like a cooler bag and an umbrella, and it's got a jacket, and it's got a vest, a puffer vest, and it's got a t-shirt, because like if you can press these other things, you can press a t-shirt, I promise you. So we press all of the challenging stuff, and then in the afternoon it's all about production setup. So what we just had, our previous sort of setting up production space, it's all about making the dollar. So it's about setting up your workspace and getting those applications. And we show people not just on an automatic fusion, but also on your STX, like your clamshell, that you can do 100 presses in an hour. So you do 50 presses in 25 minutes, and then we change it over and you go to a different product on a different machine and you do another 25 minutes, 50 presses. And yeah, it's a 2-day course. That's our little version of our masterclass here. Any plan for Albury? We definitely will. We've got a new building in the works sort of over the next sort of 6-12 months. So we'll be doing the Albury. This one's in Brisbane, but keep an eye out if you're in Australia and you want to do a masterclass hands-on. It is going to be happening first week of November. So look out for the EDMs.
Fantastic. And myself and Molly will be live again next Friday, 12 p.m. UK time. And that'll be on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. So come join us. Okay, I have a question around which transfers we can apply with a hat press that only has top heated platen. Does this mean we cannot apply any rubberized / leather patches, etc., that require heat from the back?
So I would say you can't accommodate the full hat marketplace with top heat only with dimensional patches because what you'll find is you're going to damage a lot of the caps that are out there. Performance caps, structured caps, acrylic caps are going to be off limits with top heat only with dimensional patches. Can you do caps with dimensional patches with top heat only? Absolutely. You're going to want to look towards unstructured caps. Caps that are fabricated with like cotton or twill fabric. There's a selection, but you'll just have to stay a little bit limited in your product selection. And then also, I'll just say you want to make sure you're really following the longer dwell time that's suggested. Because when we hear about problems where patches are peeling off, usually it's because you haven't been able to reach the melting point of the adhesive, which happens best from underneath. So can you do it? Yes. Do I think you should swing and get a 360 IQ? 1000%. Because I'm telling you, you will pay this off after 200 hats. That's what we're seeing.
Little one for us when if somebody's got a single and they just want to get through a job or they want to try it, my little tip on getting it to work is don't have your transfer, put the cap down, or even the base plate, heat the base plate up first, then put your cap on, then do a press and heat the fabric up of the cap first, like Josh was saying, heat it up, make sure it's molded on there and it's nice and tight. You've got no creases or thing, but you've got plenty of heating, get the moisture out of the fabric. Then you go for your transfer over the top. And as Josh said, longer dwell time, follow the instructions. But if you take those precautions of getting heat into the fabric and everything first, you will hopefully have the best chance of getting a dimensional transfer to apply if you're using only top heat. But yeah, certainly much harder without the 360.
Any idea how long from ordering would we receive the 360 hat press?
About 10 business. Good.
In the UK, I mean, it's about almost 2 o'clock. So if you order by 4 p.m. 4 p.m. today, it will ship. So next day shipping. Next day arrival even. So it'll be with you on Friday. That's kind of what time.
Things are slowly turning off over here.
Do you have inventory in Australia, Ben?
Yeah, we certainly do. We've got plenty of inventory, actually. So we typically, same deal. If it's this early in the morning, we get them out. We make sure that they're all packaged and whatnot. They typically go out same day. If not, it's the next day for sure. So we like to always make sure we check, make sure everything's there. We've also, with a lot of the presses in Australia, we've actually got to send them out on a little skid. So it's just a custom booking for a freight provider to come and pick it up. That's the only thing. So as long as it's earlier in the day, same day dispatch, otherwise next day. And it's typically no more than 1 night to 2 nights to most locations where people are buying presses, unless it's the far other side of the country.
So our friends in Australia and the UK have taken all of our heat presses from the US factory. So in the US right now, 360 IQ has been popular because of inventory in other countries and because of just the business we did at the last show in Fort Worth. And so right now we're running about 5 to 7 business days from order until it ships out of Hotronics while we work to make more and catch up. Good news is we just added about 30,000 more square feet to Hotronics. So I think many of you are coming in for a ribbon cutting there. And so we're expanding, becoming more efficient, and making a lot more heat presses into the future. All right.
Hi, guys. Is there a possibility for the Fusion IQ becoming an auto-open press?
Everything starts with an idea. So appreciate you sharing it. So we do have the Air Fusion IQ. That's an auto open press. So that would be our solution today. And so we really just have to balance, is it worth making the manual machine auto open? Where does that take the price? I think it takes it pretty close to the Air Fusion. So we've made the decision to kind of keep it at that 2,500-ish price point in the US and keep it manual. So right now, there isn't that possibility without going to an air operated model.
Andy showed a bag he did. How did he do it and what brand did he use? So this is a PU travel bag that I fused on the other day. So this was from Bagbase, which is available in all of Europe. I'm not sure it's available in the US. You can correct me on that. No, not yet. So that was another win for the 360 hat press because it just hooked on there, nice and easy. I used a high build vinyl, but you could put pretty much any product on top of it, and there was not a mark on it afterwards.
I feel like we should start using the word fuse. I picked that up today.
I'm telling you,
I said that in my class.
You did it? Okay, you're already early adopter. Okay.
I did.
Bagbase in the UK is available from all of the wholesalers, the Rallywise, BTC, all of those guys over here. Same in Europe, Vulcan Ross and other big players.
One for you, Josh. Which whiskey are you using this happy hour?
So I have a confession. It's actually a bourbon and not a whiskey because I ran out of my Jim Beam, which is my typical whiskey, and so I had to move over because I didn't want to drink a straight bourbon to Woodford Reserve, and so I mixed it with a little splash of ginger ale.
Oh, nice.
Ben, is it place for a visit in Brisbane Coffee /beer going there in February?
In 100% there is. So we've got a coffee machine there ready to go for anybody who visits. Beer, look, you know what? If it's towards the end of the week, there's beer in the fridge too. But no, we welcome anybody to come and have a look at the Brisbane showroom. You can see it in the background. That's our sort of showroom. There, we've got all of the presses, we've got all of the transfers up there, and we're able to sort of take through and show anybody who comes and says hello, able to sort of show them the whole room and whatnot and spend a bit of time with them. It's awesome.
All right, are we out of questions? We dropped our friends. Or they were behind the scene.
The panel,
okay,
they expired. It's way
all right,
too
we're
late.
on our. They said we're done. It's closing time. I guess that was last call, everybody. So I guess we'll wrap this baby up. I don't know. Let's just go around the horn one time and just share like either what was your favorite thing that you learned today, or a prediction you have for heat printing and kind of what's next. So those are big topics. I'll give you a second to breathe. Something you learned today, or something you're predicting for heat printing and what's next. Who wants to lead us off?
Go, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you fearless leader.
I always gotta go first. I was floored by the engagement. I was floored by the questions, and just the level of interest. And I mean, I every single show we go to, and anytime I really get in front of a lot of decorators, I'm floored by the passion they have for bettering themselves, and really like just dedicating so much time to learning. And that's so important for so many businesses outside of even the decorating industry. And I'm absolutely floored by it. I learned what a fizzy is, which is essentially a soda. But for our we don't have fun words in the US like we do elsewhere around the globe. But to see the similarities and the differences in audiences too, from a global audience, was just really eye-opening and absolutely fantastic. To kind of, we don't get the exposure to the global audience just like we do with with the shows that we have here in the States. So that was absolutely phenomenal.
Awesome. Martin, did your battery die in your computer?
Yeah, we had to put another 50 cents in the meter. Sorry.
It's only 2 a.m. They wanted us to go to bed.
Yeah, we've got full of energy, but the cameras and everything just died. So
that's right. We're just wrapping up. So what we started with is we're doing just a quick around the horn on something you learned today, or a prediction for heat transfer in the industry as we move forward, as we kind of close off our night. So Dave led us off. He took all the answers. Jenna, you want to follow?
Why do I always have to follow him? Okay,
because you're like just right beside him on the.
You're right, my best. I did learn a lot. Actually, I think Ben did a great education session on the DTF versus DTG versus screen print. Sometimes you need that refresher, or if you're like me and you don't understand DTG or screen print as in depth as that went, it was just really good to have some takeaways from that I can utilize in conversations with clients and understand where they're coming from in that perspective. So really great job, Ben. Kelly and Molly did a phenomenal job on the trends. It's good to see that a lot of the trends we talk about are being implemented all over. So if I was going to, I don't know, say keep an eye out on something, then it would be any of the trends that were mentioned today, whether that be print finishes, garment trends, or even implementing more sustainable practices.
Excellent. Kelly?
Oh, you didn't go to Ben. You
Hey.
So like my biggest thing was you really have to be an advocate for your business. So we've talked about like kind of what Jenna said, the global trends. Like Molly and I, like she said in our class, like we sat there for probably an hour and went over things that we have seen in retail. And we found that we were seeing them both, right? I'm smack dab in the middle of the United States in Kansas. And what goes on the West Coast and the East Coast is typically different than what happens where I'm at. However, I pay heavy attention to what goes on both coasts. So to know that Molly is seeing some of the trends that I'm seeing, and to be able to talk to apparel decorators, I think it's just verification that you really have to know your business and your niche. And if you go out and you say, this is what I am seeing, this is what the next trend is going to be, then you're creating that impact with your customer and you're creating that loyalty, and they're going to trust you and utilizing you to decorate their apparel. So it's really believing in yourself that what you're saying or what you're forecasting is actually coming to fruition. So just have faith in who you are as a decorator.
Great advice. To our Stahls UK team, does anybody want to share either a prediction or something you learned today?
I mean, I think there was a lot to learn in those cost calculations, so finance ones. I think a lot of people will be watching the back a few times just to take everything in, let it sink in. And we always say, don't forget to pay yourself. That's always a big one, but so many people still forget to do that. And it's just thinking about how you can optimize every single aspect of your shop and everything you do. Like with the setups here, every 5-10 seconds you can save is always massive. I just want to say it was really encouraging to see how many people joined us from the beginning, how many people are still here, and a commitment to education and continuing to improve. And after today, going on and learning more and more and more, which I'm sure that everyone will do, it's just going to put everyone's business in a great spot.
That's not on.
Okay.
I watched you start and I was like, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah, but it looks better.
That is fantastic.
I think the thing that, everything that we did today was really, really great and educational. And I think, like I said already, everyone's going to take so much from it. But the thing that I've really been focusing on in particular with our sort of YouTube content recently has been troubleshooting and different fabric types. They're the two things that we get a hell of a lot of questions on, whether it's just people are being a bit braver now and they're exploring sort of more sensitive fabrics, or with the opportunities that Hotronics heat presses offer, they're being a bit braver in just exploring different placements, fabrics, decoration types, etc. So I think just covering all of that was really great for everyone listening, and it's given me some ideas to create some new YouTube content. So yeah, that was a win for me.
Good. I obviously don't need a mic. For me, the thirst for information and education is stronger than ever. So we have to carry on with this. We have to keep helping those customers. I would love for us all to expand on the costing and pricing. Josh did a fantastic job. You could see some very deep questions there people really wanted to know. It is a deep dive. It can be challenging for some. We're in an industry full of creative people, so I think they find the creative side easier, the business side less so, but they have to nail that to win. And we want them to succeed. That's why we're all here. That's why we all have this passion. It's very rewarding for us when we help people and they grow and they achieve all the goals they want to achieve. We don't want them to suffer, but starting right with the numbers in place, with a plan and a plan for growth and success is essential. So I'd love to expand on that for the customers and all the attendees that have jumped on this today. It's been an eye opener for me, but I think we really should expand on that. I think that'd be great for them.
Ben?
Look, it's been phenomenal just being a part of this. Obviously, Velflex here, it's the Stahls group, and being invited into that is just super exciting. But the Australians that have sort of started out, they started at 9 p.m. and they've gone through the night. I know Snowy's been there through the whole thing. Good on her. You've killed it. Really impressed. But also just the excitement around it. And we've had lots of Aussies, and there's so many names that I've seen popping up. So that's really exciting. But also for us, we often feel like we're on the beers. I feel like we often run our own race down here in Australia, and the rest of the world is so big, and they don't look to Australia for trends. They're running their own race, right? But it's comforting to know that what we experience, we actually are sharing the same information. And I do what I want to take from this, what I've learned, like we talk about, pressure, reducing the base plate down. You got to reduce the pressure. And there's a question, is there a ratio to how much pressure you should drop off going to a different size plate? And I was like, we've never defined that down. I wish we could do that. And here I'm looking, Dave's got a chart, and you guys, when you're talking about transfers and I was like, we've got to, in educating our clients, we're all talking the same language, but we can share this information so much better. And if we can help grow our industry through education, like our businesses grow, our clients' businesses grow, this is what feeds and puts food onto the families' tables and things like that. And so if we can take this education and do more of these sorts of days, it's exciting to think how our industry is going. It's a very exciting space right now. I've been doing this for 17 years, but I don't think I've ever been more excited by heat printing, right? It's cool, the options that you can do, and also not just for new technologies. We did the trends this morning as well, and we had a couple of guys, particularly there was talking about like the 90s coming back in, and we're seeing that, like the puff. So it's almost like we've got a culmination of the new tech and new options of the way we print and how accessible it is. But hang on, we're also dragging the old way of doing things back through again because it's cool and funky, rhinestones, puff, velvet, like things like that, and going for the Ed Hardy big print look, I just think it's awesome. I think it's really on. Things aren't dying. Things are only growing and coming back around again for a second bite. And that's an exciting space to be in when heat printing, for us, like it is the future. So yeah, exciting.
Excellent. Well, appreciate, and I don't know, will the video permanently be available? I know it's available for 30 days. Are we going to pull these videos down and upload them to some of the YouTube channels? Is that in the plans?
They will. Yeah, they will. They'll end up everywhere at some point, but 30 days guaranteed watching them back. But it might be over the coming months that the rest of them get released.
Excellent. I didn't get a chance to see that one, so I can't wait to go back in and watch that one. It's getting lots of rave reviews. So I'm excited. We may even share it with our sales team to help train them as a part of it. So I guess that's my takeaway, is that there is a never-ending string of new content that can be created. Just when you think you've created it all, you have an event like this, right? And somebody says, do you have plans for shop layouts? Like, just as one example. Or have you ever thought about, delivering this content or this? So yeah, certainly the product ideas are cool, but just content ideas on things that we know. Like, why can't we establish heat press training that people can use in their shop to onboard employees, right? Like, we can create specific content around that idea. So the list of content ideas I've been keeping in my notebook are certainly going to keep us busy for a while. And I guess that goes along with my prediction is, yes, a lot of things in the industry are changing, but for us, it's always been education wins. And I think that's translatable to a lot of the apparel decorators businesses that are listening today. If you truly invest in your client, their objectives and their goals, and make your mission as a company something bigger than yourself, something that's not really selfish, right? And that's bigger and about your customer or about some bigger cause. Like, over time, that's something people want to be around, want to get behind. That's a culture people can get passionate about, and you can win with that. And so make sure you take some of what you've experienced here through Stahls, hopefully, and you see how much we care, and translate that. How can you apply that to your business and your culture to be able to grow and be a business that's been around for us since 1932, so like 92 years or something like that. And I feel like we're just getting started, and that's the super exciting part. And we're certainly just getting more collaborative and connective as one global company. So lots to learn, lots to share. So Andy, I feel like we got to give it up for Andy one time. I mean, this guy has been taking care of us, MC and everything, making sure our presentations were uploaded and ready. And then Vicky behind the scenes and many others behind the scenes laying it out. We have a whole team on a behind the scenes chat that just knocked it out of the park, as we covered earlier. So that's a wrap. Anybody have a parting thought or toast, or should we just go ahead and say
cheers?
I'll stick mine.
I think somebody asked when it was happening again.
Yeah, when is happening again, guys? You're on our list forevermore. So we will certainly announce another virtual event. We're going to recover and regroup. You need to implement some of these ideas, but I guess I'll say this. We want to hear your feedback, not just about how awesome today was. That's cool. We want to hear what you've taken away, what you've implemented, and we want you to check back with us in 3 months or 6 months and give us feedback like, hey, I learned this, I took this, and here's how it's benefited my business. And let us share that with other decorators so we can keep our customers in this industry growing. All right. So that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for joining our first ever Global Masterclass. We will do it again.
Well done. Excellent job.
Cheers, guys.
Happy
Thank you.
pressing, everybody.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye.